What if I told you there was a quad out there that's got motors that push up and that pull down all at the same time? No, I'm not kidding. This thing flies like it's on rails and looks like a spaceship. And honestly, it might just be the weirdest quad I've flown all year. Forget the fact it's the start of the year. Today we're doing a full breakdown and a full deep dive of the Astro RC Shuttle V2. I'm going to show you why this design actually works, what it's good for, and what one of the major drawbacks of this is. Let me explain. So when Astro RC sent me this quad, I opened the box and I was like, what on earth is this? And I was taken aback by it, but yeah, it's called the Shuttle V2, and immediately you notice that this thing does not look like a normal FPV quad. We've got a diamond-shaped frame with push-pull motor configurations, 2 motors in the front pushing down and 2 in the back pushing up. It's pretty wild, I've got to admit. But here's what I noticed right away about this. The build quality of this thing is insane. It is so well put together. Everything feels solid, premium, everything's locked down really tight, and everything has a place. You've even got a really cool design here where that opens up so you can get to the O4 USB. Whilst it's still lovely and integrated in there, that clips down. You've got an XT30 at the back, you've got your ELRS, you've got LEDs all around the side. So the arms double as like a top and bottom plate, meaning that you have got less weight to carry and it should be more solid in the air. You've got an integrated O4 or O4 Pro with vibration dampening here as well. And that comes in clutch because when you've got something that's quite powerful like these sometimes are, it can be a bit of a pain to tune, especially the O4 and the O4 Lite. They can be a real pain, but this vibration dampening really does do its job and comes in properly clutch for us when it comes to any tuning headaches that you might have. So let's talk specs really quickly about this thing then. As I say, you've got the DJI O4 or O4 Pro with integrated vibration dampening at the front. You've got a solid mid-range all-in-one flight controller in the JCH MU 40 amp F405 all-in-one. It comes with relatively standard motors for this size, so the 1404 4500 kV, and they are Astro RC branded ones as well. Obviously you get 3-inch props with it, and they came pre-installed as well, which made my life so much easier. Now, it's a 4S quad, so you're going to need a 4S battery. It will run on a 3S, so if you guys are new to the hobby and you're thinking, I want to try it but on a bit less power, you can always add a throttle limit to a 4S. But if you've got something that's 3S and you want to step up but you don't want to go full power, you can add, you can use those 3S batteries and you'll be running at around about 75% of the overall power that this thing offers. You will get less efficiency, of course, because you're running one less cell, but it's just something to know. So this is a 3-inch 4S setup, as I mentioned. It's not the biggest, it's not the most powerful, but it's a size and a range that I probably enjoy flying one of the most these days. But Astro RC also have a 3.6-inch 6S version of this. Let us know in the comments down below if you'd like us to check that one out as well in a future video. But this V2 is designed more for newer pilots and for getting into and out of tighter spaces rather than full-on in-your-face power like the bigger ones are. The whole point of the 3-inch platform here is balance. You get enough power for freestyle, enough stability for cinematic work, and way lower repair costs when you compare it to a 6S. Plus, if you've already got anything else that is 3 or 4S, you can share batteries with it as well. But before we get any further into this video, let me show you the one thing about this design that people don't understand. Until, of course, they see it up close. So let's talk about exactly why this is designed like this. And it's not just for an aesthetics point of view. Everything fits really well, everything's got its place, everything's integrated, and it is a really well thought out design, if a little bit different than what we've seen. Now, for anybody who's an OG in FPV, going back many, many years, we used to have a design similar to this back in the day. But back in the day, you'd actually have the front motors on the underside and the back motors on the top. And the whole point of that, the way frames were designed at the time, you couldn't get props out of you unless you put the props on the underside, and then you'd have your battery and Very similar sort of thing, but just done a little bit differently. So this is, I guess, the more modern take on it. And it's a way of integrating everything, but making the frame a little bit smaller. And what that does is, I spoke about the frame being on rails already. And because it's so much shorter, you can get everything sort of closer in. You can really weave around and really attack those gaps. And it just feels so locked in. Now, I know what you're thinking. Does it really actually fly as well as you're saying, or is it just a bit of a gimmick? And the honest answer to that is it flies really well. And I hope that the footage that I put on screen as I'm talking has helped express how well I think it does actually fly. First thing I noticed when I flew it is it just feels so locked in. Doesn't feel floaty, it doesn't wander, it just feels locked and ready to sort of go. And if you swap that O4 Lite out to an O4 Pro, for a cinematic point of view, this would be really good at what it offers, because again, it is just so smooth, it just goes, and there just isn't really any vibrations or anything like that in it overall. Now, I'm sure the O4 Lite will probably show some stuff, but overall, it just flies so well. And for freestyle, dude, it rips. The 1404 motors on 4S have enough power and punch for most tricks. You're not going to need the insane power of a 5-inch 4S, especially if you're just starting out. If you're looking at threading the eye of a needle and learning your tricks, this thing might well be something to consider. And then the other point is, from a proximity point of view, Boy Wonder and I took this out and we flew in formation with each other. You can see just how locked in it is. I can get really close to it. There's no sudden movements or anything. It just goes. Now, a lot of that, don't get me wrong, is to do with the other pilot, good communication skills, making sure you know where each other is going to go and where each other's going to be and what each other's going to do. However, you still need a good drone to be able to do it as well. And I think the footage demonstrates that. All right, so real talk time. Let's be honest. No drone that we've ever reviewed on this channel has come away with a perfect mark. Nothing has ever come away, and I've said nothing can be improved on it. And I still keep that here today. This is a great drone. This is not a perfect drone. This is far from a perfect drone. One of the biggest drawbacks I've noticed is it seems ridiculously power hungry. Now, sure, you can stick a bigger battery on it and you can go whatever, but using the same batteries that I use on the same other 3 inches that I've got, this performs worse. It's not massively worse, but it's something to note. So if you are somebody that wants to do a lot of flights, to do a lot of cruising, you might want to consider quite a few extra batteries if this is something that you are going to be looking at going for. And I think the other thing is, because of the way the frame is designed, you've got a top plate here and a top plate here. The arms are not replaceable. They're not removable. So if you do have a crash and break an arm, you're not just replacing an arm. You are potentially, you are replacing either one or both of those sort of plates. So that, again, it's just something to consider, just something to bear in mind. Like I say, we've never given anything that we've reviewed on this channel a perfect score and said that it can't be improved. There is always room for improvements, and we stand by that with this. But all that said, the arms are pretty thick. The build quality is really good. You're going to be pretty unlucky if you do break something. But, you know, add it to the consider box nonetheless. When you are buying something like this, look at the positives, look at the negatives, and decide whether it's for you or not. So who is the Astro RC Shuttle really for? If you're a beginner who wants something different, something that doesn't look like every other quad out there, this might be something to consider. It flies stable and it's forgiving. The O4 Lite makes it easy to capture good footage without a ton of tuning, and it's good enough for social media. The O4 Lite is never going to be good enough for anything other than just putting a few clips on social media. But as a new pilot, that's probably what you want anyway. And the great thing is, you can easily, and I do mean easily, put an O4 Pro in this. I may even do that myself later on, just to show you how easy it is. It will literally be a case of a couple of screws, and I think just swapping the cable out. It looks so super easy. So it has an upgrade path as well. Some drones that come with an O4 Lite, you will struggle to get an O4 Pro in them. Some that have an O4 Pro, you'll struggle to put anything else in. This shouldn't be a problem at all when you look at it. Now, of course, if you're a hardcore racer and you want the most power possible and you want to go as fast as you physically can, this is a 4S 3-inch. This is not going to be something that you're going to want to consider. But most pilots, especially ones getting into FPV, want something that does more than one thing at once, that isn't crazily powerful like a 5-inch, but is also a bit more powerful than a Cinewhoop. And this sort of sits nicely in the middle. Obviously, it's got Betaflight as well, so you can tune it. We've got a Betaflight rates guide to make it fly a lot more docile than it does in some of the videos that we've shown it off in. And it's that nice little middle ground. You can do freestyle with it, you can do cinematic with it, and you can learn how to fly with it. This is one of the most unique looking quads I've ever flown for a very, very long time. The push-pull design makes it instantly stand out from the crowd. The build quality and integration is top tier, and it flies absolutely locked in. Is it perfect? Nope, absolutely not. The battery life could be better, and replacing parts is going to be a bit of a problem if you just break an arm. But it flies great and can handle cinematics, so you've got a really good jack of all trades. Is it a master of none? It probably doesn't master freestyle, but it masters cinematics quite well. There's a link in the description down below. I don't think it's an affiliate. If it is, I'll mark it as one. Let me know in the comments down below if you intend to pick one of these up, or if it's just a little bit too weird looking for you. We've got loads and loads of new pilots that have recently joined us, so please do hit that subscribe button, hit the hype button once this premiere has finished, and make sure that you leave a comment down below so that we can continue to grow into 2026. I want to take all you guys with me on this wild journey that we're going to go on, and I promise it's going to be wild. Leave a comment down below. Let's get the conversation going. Until next time, peace. YouTube and I have had a chat, and we believe that this is the video that you'll like the most. So watch it and let me know if they're right.